What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co host, my sister Dora,
What's up?
my brother Derek,
What's up?
and my friend Dan.
Yeah.
And this week, you guys, we are talking about Black Widow. It finally has come out in theaters and Disney Plus Premier Access for $30. Um, and wherever suits your fancy to watch it, you can watch it. And we've been waiting a very long time to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have.
So we are going to
Years,
jump
years,
into
years, 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 years,
year and years.
Yeah.
years.
Hmm. And here's your warning: spoilers for Black Widow. If you have not seen it, listen to this episode later. Not now. Okay?
Get out now. Get out. Get out
You
now.
can make like Alexi and escape from this podcast before you watch the movie. And now let's talk Black Widow.
Wow.
What? All right, so this movie, interesting.
I'm going to say it had a lot of potential, but it missed the mark. And I would just end up being disappointed because it's like I wanted it to be like up here and it was like kind of down there.
I feel you. I'm just gonna say this: Marvel makes $1 billion, like their movies make $1 billion pretty much every time they drop a movie, right?
Yeah.
This is not $1 billion movie.
Absolutely not. I think
It should not reach $1 billion.
I felt like this movie, if this was like a solely like theater release after the first week, word of mouth would have got around, and this movie doesn't get close to $1 billion.
Yeah. So, well, I don't know. Captain Marvel made $1 billion, so
Yeah.
it is what it is.
People like the Captain Marvel movie, though.
Do they?
Do they? Do
They
they though?
do?
Because it's not a
I
great
don't
movie.
think people like the Captain Marvel movie.
It's not that bad.
Are these
I can watch
sane?
it. But yeah, Black Widow. So the premise is there, and I think even at the start, things were interesting. My biggest problem with the movie, and we talked about this when we watched it, was the ridiculous action in the movie.
Yeah.
And like, hey, look, I'm off down for some ridiculous action from time to time, but man, this was ridiculous. And when I say ridiculous, I don't mean like the action was bad. It wasn't bad action. It was just like the things that were happening was unfounded. And I know it's a Marvel movie, but geez,
Yeah.
Widow
Well,
is
if you're
a
a
human.
fan of the Fast and Furious series, you will love this movie.
That is exactly what I'm gonna say. It was Fast and Furious level ridiculous. Where it's like, oh hey, that's cool, but no one in their right mind would survive that.
Yeah.
It was just that kind of ridiculous. And I feel like a movie that's supposed to be Black Widow should be more grounded in realism.
Yeah, it definitely should because she's a human. She has no powers, right?
Yeah.
You need to ground. Winter Soldier was more grounded than this movie.
Yeah.
Actually, Winter Soldier was very grounded.
And
Like,
it's like I went in there expecting this to be like the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Like this should have been the Born Identity.
yeah,
And it missed it on so many levels. And I think one of the issues with is I read an article with the director was like she didn't want to make a dark film, and I kind of feel like you should have.
you should. I think they should have.
Well,
With
You
Black Widow.
needed
She's
to.
an assassin.
It's
They definitely
and
should have.
and I
They
feel
alluded
like
to the fact that her past was dark every movie, basically.
exactly, and I feel like this movie, and I don't know if it was just Disney's doing or the director's doing, where they have the tendency to make people bad people. Well, they're not really that bad.
yeah,
And I feel like Black Widow is an assassin and she's a spy. And call it what it is. Before she became an Avenger, before she joined SHIELD, she was a bad person. And I don't think they should have tried to downplay that. And you just don't. She is what she was.
yeah. That's how it is in the comics.
And she's just not that person anymore. And I feel like this whole movie with the other characters is the same way. It's just they try to make someone evil to say like, oh, well, this person's really not that bad. And you take away the whole character of Black Widow when you do that.
Well, like with the girls in the red room, they're being mind controlled. Not that they're trained assassins that were kidnapped since they were children. Fine. I mean, that's Jason Bourne, right? The
Yeah.
other assets, they were brainwashed, yes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like they weren't mind controlled. Like I
Yeah.
can make you do this.
And I just, did we need that mind control element? We already have girls who were kidnapped and trained at a young age to be assassins. They're already controlled.
Yeah.
Right? They already have, this is all they know.
Yeah.
We didn't need that extra mind control chemical thing.
Yeah, because what it does is it takes away from it, meaning there's only one person in this entire movie who's bad.
Right.
That's it. Nobody else is bad. Only one person.
And I felt like it would have had so much more meaning if these girls were, this is all they know, so this is what they do. For them to realize on their own, I can be someone else.
Yeah, and then the mind control thing also created an easy way out for stuff because all you got to do is
The magic red
mist
dust,
and it releases
the
the
Right.
pixie
Angel
dust
dust.
solved all problems.
yeah.
Just the whole movie, you blow this in someone's face, and then I was just like, it doesn't take no time, just no, not it just ugh.
Yeah. So there was that. I don't know. Some of the action took me out of the movie because Black Widow is a human. So when you have her fall from 10 stories hitting ductwork all the way down and then she lands on her feet, it's
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like that's not realistic because she's not Captain America.
Yeah, she landed on her feet.
You know, she's not Black Widow. I mean, she's not Black Panther. She's a
a
human.
Yeah.
She should be hurt. And as much stuff as she went through in this movie, like she was constantly in a fight. I'm like, yo, girl should be down. She needs to rest for a week before we continue this mission.
She should have a scratch. I mean, I don't know if it's in Scarlett Johansson's contract that her face can get messed up.
That was another thing. That was another
cool with
thing.
that.
And I know people say Disney, blah, blah, blah. But no, other Marvel movies, the heroes
Yes.
showed their wear. Spider-Man
Yeah.
showed that he got beat up. Captain America showed that he got beat up. Scarlett Johansson was getting, like I said, fell from 10 stories, hitting the wall all the way down like a video game character bouncing between the things.
Like,
And just no scratches, no broken bones, nothing. Period. I'm good.
I don't know whose idea was it to do it, but it's so, because it's so glaring, the lack of injuries in this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so she didn't even have a black eye, a cutter, like no, nothing needed a Band-Aid at least.
Yeah.
And I get like, okay, it's a Disney movie, it's PG-13. I'm not saying it has to be graphic.
Yeah,
But
I'm
at
not
the
looking
same
for gore.
time,
Like, I'm not one of those
Endgame
people.
and an Infinity War, by the end of that, Captain America was pretty messed up. Like the dude's arm was basically detached.
Yeah.
Basically.
I think it takes you out because it's unrealistic. And again, like I said, I'm not one of those people where I'm like, oh, it needs to be gory because also that's unrealistic. You sick people out there that's like, I've got to see blood spurting from heads chopped off and stuff. Something's wrong with you. And
Yeah,
no,
it's that Quentin Tarantino.
it's not how it even
It
works.
doesn't have to be Kill Bill, but at the same time, if someone gets stabbed 20 times, there should be just
Yeah,
a little bit of
yeah,
something. I
or
don't know.
in the beginning, that first Black Widow that she killed. Like, hey, look, you don't need to see a lot, but she stabbed her in the stomach, twisted the knife, and then slashed across. Right
And then
now, I don't
slashed
need to
across.
see entrails coming out. Okay, that's all good. But when she was on the ground,
Still
the
dry.
ground maybe should have some red specks.
Yeah, dude, she was like,
And you know what was the only blood on the ground was when she ripped the microchip out of her thigh.
yeah.
That was the only blood on the ground.
Yeah, just so ridiculous. Black Widow got smacked in the face with a dinner plate. I was just,
and thrown through the window.
and thrown through a window, just flawless, no scratches. I feel like I can scratch myself on a cardboard box.
I was building a swing set the other day, and I cut my hand somehow. Don't know how. Didn't even know it was cut until I looked at my hand, and there was blood on my hand.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I get like 10 paper cuts a day, and I'm like, she got smacked with a dinner plate and flawless. I need that superpower.
So when we say the action is ridiculous, that's what we mean because like she's going through so much stuff. She should be dead, nonetheless, with a broken leg at least or something. Like,
Yeah.
I know she's a superhero, but she's not super. Let's remember this.
Yeah.
So I don't know who the writers were, but like guys, you got to keep in mind your character. This isn't Superman.
Mm-hmm.
It's Black Widow. So consequences. And what I say is, just don't have her fall from 10 stories high.
Yeah.
Don't write that into the movie.
Or don't have
Yeah.
her.
I just fall off a curb.
Yeah. Hey, curbs can break some ankles.
They can.
They've been known to take out some people. Or, don't have her hold a man who weighs 250 pounds with one arm. I'm just like, no.
Yeah. I was like, is Black Widow super strong? Because most men would have had a problem lifting this guy with one arm while swinging on a helicopter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then, I don't know, the plot armor is actually visible in this movie. Like, you can see the armor of the plot on the main characters.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because her sister, which I actually like her character, Yelena, but she's in the helicopter's being shot at. They show bullets
my goodness.
go across the helicopter, skip over the door where she's clearly visible, and then continue their bullet trail afterwards. 0 sense. She should have been shot.
But my thing is, like, why couldn't she have gotten shot and still survive? I'm like, that scene reminds me of, is it Spectre? What's the scene in James Bond where Skyfall? When he's in the on the train and they shoot up the machine he's in, and he takes like 3 bullets. Why can't she take a few bullets?
Yeah. Or just when the guy's shooting at the helicopter, don't show the bullet trail go across her person while she doesn't get shot. Maybe don't do that.
I thought they did that on purpose.
But it was just
Supposed
so
to be a-
ridiculous.
I
Like,
thought
it
was supposed to
takes
be a
you.
comical scene.
But I feel like this movie was just too silly.
Yeah, which, I mean,
There's
the
one
comedy
thing to
was
be-
funny. It was funny.
It was, but was it just too silly? Like, I'm fine with comedy, but at the same time, when you have stuff like my entire helicopter first of all, the helicopter gets shot up, and at no point does the engine get hit. None of the machine. That's what I'm saying. Like, not every machine they use was just completely fine. Like, you cannot shoot up a helicopter like that, and it's still in the air.
Yeah.
Not for long, at least.
I know.
Just nothing. I mean, no lights blinking, no
Yeah. And
stuff
look,
yelling at you.
Audience we're
checking
conditioned to bad guys being bad aims. Like, we get it.
Yeah.
But you can't be so blatant.
When
You
they talk
can't be
about the stormtroopers all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's stormtrooper aim. That makes sense. Plot armor is a thing, but at the same time, no one in this movie got hurt.
What about that dude whose hand he broke? I feel like that hurt.
He wasn't a main character. Oh no!
That was funny.
Oh no.
That's the one thing, and I think it redeems the movie
no.
because while it was not what I was expecting or wanted from this movie, it did make me laugh. It did, and I'm gonna give it a fair for that.
Well, before we get back to everything we didn't like, I'm gonna say I feel like individually all the main characters were great.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just
Yes.
they did
Good,
not bring.
good casting.
They did not bring, like, Red Guardian should have been more.
Yeah.
Melinda should have been more.
I'm not even
and
gonna go complete writing on this. I'm gonna say it was directing probably because the director kind of chooses these action beats and
I
stuff.
feel like this is a director
this
issue.
is a director problem with this movie.
I believe so. I really do.
Yeah, because the base story is actually not that, like, it can be interesting. Besides the mind control, I wish they didn't have that. I mean, that would have been fine. Yeah. There are plenty of other ridiculous things we can mention that happens here, but I don't know. I guess watch for yourselves. How many times did someone walk away with an explosion behind them?
Oh my goodness.
At least three times in this movie there was an explosion while someone was walking away. I feel like somebody just like got way too excited about that type of scene. They're like, yes, we have to do it. Yeah. Poof, that's so cool, explosion, and they're walking calmly away. No. Not in a serious spy movie. Please don't do it.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I felt like this movie, there were just so many things. You know what? Was I the only one who felt like the end where their I don't know, city in the sky or whatever it was blowing up? Did it give you the Winter Soldier feels?
No, I just thought it was I don't
I'm just
know.
saying,
It
like,
wasn't
because
a
with the
good ending.
Triskelion blowing up, falling out the sky, I felt like this was very similar to that.
Now that you say that, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think about it at the time of watching it. I guess I was just thinking of how anticlimactic the ending was.
Well, because everyone was a
Yeah, it
victim.
was.
Yeah,
And, I'm going to talk about Taskmaster last.
yeah, we're gonna save Taskmaster for last.
But I felt like before we found out what Taskmaster was, I wanted more of the Taskmaster.
Yeah,
You say it like that.
we definitely wanted more of the Taskmaster. That's one glaring problem with this. Like, Taskmaster was underused. You
So
build him as the
underused.
villain of this movie, and then
Yeah.
like we barely like Taskmaster can mimic all the fighting styles in the MCU. We definitely needed a longer fight scene with him showcasing that.
Yeah.
Make him now. I would say at the first scene they did make Taskmaster seem very menacing, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good
But they were
villain.
supposed to build on that and build on that, and
Yeah,
they didn't.
They didn't. No,
And-
he just popped up after a while, and
Yeah, and I just felt like in that not even Taskmaster, I feel like Dreykov should have been a little bit more evil. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the dude was awful.
Yeah.
But he didn't really have an evil feel to him. And I wanted more of a like a the guy with the white cat kind of feel. That's what I wanted out of Dreykov.
yeah, I feel you there. Yeah.
Like he just really didn't. I felt like while there was a lot of action and we said like some of it was over the top, I still felt like some of the scenes we needed more in. Like I felt like they would set up a big action scene and then cut away. Like when Red Guardian was fighting Taskmaster,
Yeah.
they'll show two things and then they'll cut away to people talking.
Yeah, actually, you should have
Yeah.
showed that fight,
I
right?
was just
He's
like-
a Captain America super soldier, right? Show that
Yeah.
fight between him and Taskmaster.
Like, why don't we get more Red Guardian being a super soldier? Like, okay, you made him this old silly guy, but I also want to see like, oh hey, he may be out of shape now, he may be naive now, he may be a little out of touch, but he can still
Right,
handle
but he
himself.
he still has that super strength.
Yeah, like he can still handle himself, and it just missed on so many levels. Even in the last scene where Taskmaster chased them out of the building and they're falling through the sky. I'm like, okay, we about to get like this cold fight in the air, and it
yeah, I
lasted
thought there
for
was
like
going to be a fight in the air.
it lasted for like a second,
I
and
thought
then
so, too.
the movie's over.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, even the last bit of a fight for her on the ground, there wasn't a fight. You just used
because the
your
red cloud
dusty
saved the day
thingy,
again.
and yeah.
just
And then honestly, they should have made it where she wasn't mind control. She just hated Black Widow. That would have been the clearest thing. All the other Black Widows were mind controlled. Taskmaster wasn't, because she hated Black Widow, because Black Widow essentially tried to kill her when
Yeah.
she was a little girl.
Right,
Period.
to get to her father.
Right? Like that would have actually made sense, and I think it would have made the character a little better. Like, she just hated Black Widow. So it doesn't matter. Do the dust thingy, and then she's like, yeah, no, I'm
Yeah, it
still going to
doesn't
try
work.
and kill you.
yeah, it didn't pay off.
You could have had Black Widow, Yelena, and Natasha fight the Taskmaster in the end.
How
Yeah.
great would that have been?
It would have
Would've
given
been
me at
dope.
least a half a point more on my rating for this movie.
Yeah.
Would have
Yeah.
been dope.
Just a lot of the action scenes had so many missed opportunities. I think they focused more on, this looks awesome,
Yeah.
than executing it well.
Look, I can take this is dumb but awesome, like once or twice in a movie, but this movie was constantly this is dumb but awesome, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Yeah.
all the action scene was in this movie, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Talk about plot armor again. Them falling from the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, all this debris is falling around them, and they're just fine.
Not a single
And the
person.
girl
gets
is
hit.
knocked out in the parachute. Not even that, like, she's controlling the parachute, avoiding the debris.
Yeah.
She's knocked out in a parachute, and she doesn't get hit by anything.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Yes, it can happen. But
All the Black Widows escaped.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
a single person.
And if Elena doesn't blow up old dude's plane, he escaped with all his bodyguards.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But she blew up the plane. But she blew it up.
no one would have died on that floating fortress, because apparently everybody got out.
It was huge.
And Black Widow frees Taskmaster. That little feeling, I don't know. I get that Natasha would be upset about the girl that she killed or tried to
Yeah.
kill, but it didn't play right. It didn't play like I didn't feel that
Well,
emotion.
it didn't play right because like she regrets her decision now, but back then, I mean,
Yeah.
she was collateral damage. It was what needs to. Hey, look, if I gotta kill her to get the Dreykov, then that's it.
I think
And
I think what you mentioned about the comedy probably took away from that because what you needed for that scene where she releases Taskmaster really to work was for that to be beating down on Natasha's conscience, especially now that she's not in the Avengers anymore. She doesn't have anything else. Like that's remembering her actually killing this little girl, beating down on her conscience throughout the movie. Then we would have felt that emotional beat better when she
Yeah.
released the Taskmaster.
well, because I feel like since it was set up in the first Avengers movie, right? Loki was like Dreykov's daughter, right?
Yeah.
So it was like a callback to that, and you could tell, like, man, like, yeah, okay, I did do that in the Avengers, but in this movie, and I kind of wish we would have gotten more, or would have gotten Black Widow in the Red Room, like see who she was.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I
Show
know
us some past missions with
exactly,
her as the Black
and like we
Widow.
didn't have to see Hawkeye, but show was just like basically Hawkeye gave her ultimate. His job was to kill her because that's how ruthless she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just think about that. This is what we missed in this movie, to see just how ruthless she was, and that's why making these girls mind control takes away all of that.
Yeah.
And like, because she was so cold that Shield sent in a person to kill her.
Yeah, well, actually, when we talk about comparing this, because I think me and Dora said earlier, this was like a average James Bond movie, and we were looking for a Jason Bourne movie.
Yeah.
To compare it, yeah, it would have been good if you had that scene where she killed Dreykov's daughter, and not by bomb, by the way. That as a comparison to Jason Bourne, that's what stopped Jason Bourne, right, and made him leave. But with Black Widow, she went through with it.
Exactly.
making
Jason
her-
Bourne doesn't kill Wambobi. Wambobi? Whatever.
Whatever.
Y'all know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi. Come on.
Definitely. Because, right, he was sent to kill this guy, but he saw his kids and he
Yeah.
couldn't do it. She made sure the daughter was there, assuming if the daughter's there,
Yeah.
he's there,
He's there.
they're
Yeah.
dead. And that was her way out.
Yeah. Or you know what it would have been a better plot to this? 100%. She's there, makes sure the daughter's there, so the father's there, kills the father, doesn't kill the daughter, and the daughter's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I thought
That's-
that that's where they were going to go with it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
That would have been like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So many different things they could have done,
Yeah.
and they just
Right.
did not do it.
Then it could have been like Colombiana. You killed him.
that would have been
Brilliant.
so I had higher expectations for this movie.
Yeah, it could have been so much, and it just wasn't, and I think it's just more disappointment than anything else.
Yeah.
Not just like it's not a bad, it's certainly entertaining, but at the same time, I feel like I would never watch it again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, I didn't have a bad time watching it. I wasn't angry watching it, but
It's just not what I wanted.
it's disappointing and I hate to be that person because I always talk about people say, "Oh, well, it wasn't what you expected," but I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The comedy was good though. This funny Red Guardian in this movie.
Yeah. Red Guardian and Yelena.
And Yelena. Oh, my favorite thing, Yelena sitting up here asking Natasha why she does the little
the
pose and
pose.
flick
The
her
pose.
head, and then she's like, you get down on the floor and you flick your head. Like,
Your hair back like this.
it's like, why are
Get
you
up.
doing that? And I mean, like, it's fair. It's kind of a meta joke, and I like it because yeah, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Right. It's like that landing is so unnecessary.
Yeah. And then Yelena tries it later on in the movie. I
She's
think
like, "Yeah, gross."
that was perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah, I like her a lot, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing her in other stuff. Like
Yeah.
she's definitely like if she becomes the next Black Widow, which I'm hoping. Like I'm down for that for
Yeah,
sure.
because the post credit scene was she was being recruited by
Contessa
Contessa,
Valentina.
yeah,
Contessa.
the same person that was in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, giving of
Wasn't her
course.
name Elaine on Seinfeld?
Yes, her name was
Wow.
Elaine on Seinfeld.
Wow.
Why did we need to know that right now?
Because what was Black Widow's sister name?
Yelena.
Not even
Yelena.
Elaine.
spelt with
Oh,
a
okay.
Y.
It's kind of close. It's kind of close. It's kind of close
It's
though.
really
Elaine,
not.
Elena, Elaine, Elena, Elaine, Elena. Like they could be twins. Like they could be names for twins.
No,
Elaine,
because
Elena.
one name is Russian and one name is not.
Well, nobody needs to know that detail. They just sound similar.
People know that Yelena is a Russian name. Like,
I don't think they do because I didn't.
Hey, it might not be clear because I remember it was somebody was watching on YouTube and a character in the game was named Tatiana, but it was a black character, and they were like, "Oh, of course, you get a black character named Tatiana," and I was like, "That's a Russian
It's a
name."
Russian name.
Like it's not. It's like, did you
Had no
think
idea.
that was a black name? It's not.
It's not.
no, it's not.
So yeah, maybe people don't know Yelena is a Russian name.
Maybe they should.
Um,
Well, they do now because they're watching our podcast.
I would say this movie does not need to be watched in the it does nothing for the grander scheme of
What? You found out where she got her vest from in Infinity War. Didn't we need to know that?
no.
Yes.
I mean,
that's that
definitely
stupid
did.
Han
They-
Solo stuff. Where did Han Solo get his? I don't care. Don't care.
They just really wanted us
Why
to
does
know
he have
where
this
she got that
jacket?
vest from.
No. No.
It's like didn't even think about the vest until you kept slapping me in the face with it.
I mean, it was still funny with them talking about it, but with how many pockets it has, it's so useful.
It is useful though.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
come on.
useful,
But no, yeah, it does nothing for the MCU at all.
It gives us Yelena.
I was gonna say except giving you Elena, but okay, all we needed was
The end credit scene.
the end credit scene. We got Elena. I don't know.
Nah, we needed a backstory for her.
You literally could have just put her in another movie and then give us a flashback of her working with Natasha in the Red Room.
Nah, that's not enough. We need more than that.
You didn't need this movie for it.
We needed more than that.
And that's all I gotta say. Like, okay, Far From Home, it did have bigger implications on the MCU. Endgame, of course. I don't like Captain Marvel, but it does point some stuff out. It gives us the scrolls, This is not a must watch.
Let's talk about Taskmaster.
Let's talk about Taskmaster.
So, Taskmaster turns out to be
Dreykov's daughter.
Dreykov's daughter for reasons.
I saw that coming though. It wasn't even a surprise.
Well,
they had to take off the helmet, and I was like, "It's Dreykov's daughter." Oh, look!
I
it's
saw
the
it
daughter.
coming because when I realized the black eye was not Taskmaster, I was like, well, that's disappointing because everyone thought he was going to be Taskmaster, which would have been 10 times better.
Mm-hmm.
And he really had no point to be in this movie except for to be a discount Q.
Oh, ouch. That's hurtful.
Yeah, he was definitely discount Q. Yeah, that was
And I don't understand why you take a character as great as Taskmaster, someone who has their own personality and their own strengths, and then you turn them into a mindless machine.
Yep.
What was the point of that?
Taskmaster should have just been the bad guy.
Taskmaster is an assassin for
Yes.
hire. Why couldn't he just be the guy that Dreykov hired to kill Natasha? That is all he needed to be.
That is true. He's a mercenary, much like Deadpool, right? So
Exactly. He
yeah.
needed to be
Oh,
nothing
what?
but that. The guy he kills for a living. That's it. And like I said before, I don't understand Disney's obsession with turning villains into victims. It's not needed.
They're showing that there's like a possibility for a brighter world,
No, Taskmaster needs to be a bad guy. I don't
Exactly.
need because now Taskmaster's not dead, which I'm glad. Don't always kill the villains. I used to be mad at early Marvel because the villain always died, but now she's not under mind control. So
But here's the thing. So I just read that Taskmaster is a member of the Thunderbolts. But I don't want this Taskmaster in the Thunderbolts.
No.
Because you ruined Taskmaster. And then since she was mind controlled, like, she doesn't even do what she do now.
Well, she does. The mind control wasn't what gave her her powers.
Yeah, but it was like computerized and not powers. Why can't you just have powers?
No, it's a chip. He said he put a chip in her.
Why? Why can't you just have powers?
I don't know. I mean, you could have done that, but she still has them.
Either way, I don't want this person in the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, it was a bit uninteresting the way they did it. It could have just been a person hired.
Just, that's all that he needed to be. Because that's all he is.
Yeah. That would have been better. I needed more Taskmaster. Like,
Yeah.
you teased me about Taskmaster and you didn't deliver.
No,
I'm disappointed.
not even all. Just it being Dracov's daughter, and then she's being mind controlled, and then again, just the convenient bailout of the stupid red dust. I mean, even when Natasha was getting beat up by all the Black Widows, right, and she's getting it handed to her, right, even that little stupid knee to the head, which was kind of funny and cool.
Well, yes, I look.
Yes.
I don't
the
care what else you
sliding
change.
knee.
Like, you could change the entire movie. I need the sliding knee move still in here because that was amazing.
But then she gets bailed out by this stupid red dust.
Just show us that Natasha's better than all the other Black Widows because she was still able to beat them all. Like, that's why she's so dangerous. Is it kind of unrealistic? Yeah, but I don't know. Captain America beat up a bunch of people in the elevator, so
Yeah, and like I just feel like we really didn't get the Black Widow that we were sold.
no.
Like, she was getting beat up a lot. I mean, she must have forgot how to fight after Civil War. Just I don't know. There were just so many things we didn't need.
Yeah. So, yeah. Any other thoughts, guys, about it?
No, I mean I have nitpicks to go with.
We're not at nitpicks yet.
Oh. No nitpicks. I mean, I've been nitpicking this.
There's still some left
I
over.
was like, isn't that what we've been doing the entire time?
We were reviewing the movie. It just happened to also
In a nitpicky manner.
Not really.
this is a
not really. The
legitimate
ridiculous
matter.
action is not a
Yeah.
nitpick. It's kind of just what the movie
Yeah, it is honestly what this movie is.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I was entertained, but also disappointed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. Are we ready for random movie facts?
Random movie facts. Let's go.
I only have like two because it's a new
It's
movie.
a new movie, yeah.
So it made $80 million in theaters,
Saw that.
the highest since COVID has been around. Made $60 million from Disney Plus sales.
pretty
So
good.
you're welcome, Disney.
You're welcome, Disney. Yeah, we spent our 30.
I'm kind of glad we definitely split the price of this movie.
True.
Wow.
Yeah, it's it's gonna make movie. Even with word of mouth, I feel like it's gonna make money because one, it's the first Marvel movie in over a year, and two, people have been wanting a Black Widow movie for a very long time. It's one of those movies that even if people say something bad about it, people are gonna want it. They're gonna go, well, I'm gonna have to see for myself, type of deal. Like, people are gonna go see it anyway.
Yeah, but I feel like this is different than people picking on a movie because they're stupid. I think these are legit, reasons. You're like, look, guys, this movie isn't worth it.
Yeah.
It's all legitimate. This is not people being petty.
True.
Yeah. And it's really disappointing. Like, we've been wanting Black Widow for like 10 years, and then this is what you gave us.
There's no reason for this movie to come after Endgame.
You know why it comes after Endgame.
They didn't want to make the movie.
Yes, because, people don't like women.
Yeah. But
They don't?
yeah, apparently not.
Apparently not. At least that's what the Disney
you
execs thought. Oh yeah, there was a leak email that apparently the guy who used to be in charge, he's no longer in charge,
Perlmutter, yeah,
was like he didn't want to make a Black Widow movie because he said women didn't make good superheroes and no one wants to see it.
Yeah, he was also the person that didn't make any female toys.
Yes, because
Oh, wow.
girls don't play with toys, and apparently boys will not play with a female action hero, which is not true.
Okay.
It's a toy. Yeah, just dumb, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know who these executives be making these decisions, but yeah.
They're
No,
idiots.
Ike Perlmutter, he was horrible.
Yeah,
Absolutely horrible.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm just like, guy, do you have women in your life, or do you just lock them in a closet
I never
until it's time for dinner
understand
or
people's
something?
arguments when it's usually this argument. No one wants to see this such and such race or this type of person or women. Like, I don't understand that logic. What do you mean?
I'm just like, just give me a good movie.
Yeah, I'm like, in general, people don't care that much. You know, I mean, yes, they would be happy if they see someone that's the same race of them lead a movie. Yeah, sure. You know,
Yeah, but I'm not gonna not see a movie because, oh my gosh, there's a woman
Yeah.
and I don't want to watch
yeah,
that.
nobody's going like, I'm not gonna watch Batman. Bruce Wayne is white. like,
Like,
no
who
one
says
does
that?
that.
Like no one.
Other people.
and nobody does that. Well, most people don't do the opposite. We've seen some comments.
But those people are in the minority though.
yeah,
So let them complain. If you don't want to go see it, they're not gonna
Yeah.
go see it. But your fan base, the people that's gonna make you all of your money, don't care.
yeah. Most people aren't gonna go. I'm not gonna watch Black Panther because it's got a bunch of black people. Most people aren't gonna do that. So I don't understand these executives' logic on. I'm not gonna make a female-led movie because
Their logic is they don't want to see it.
Yeah,
Just call it
pretty
what it
much.
is. He doesn't like women, so he didn't want to make a movie with women in it.
and then I'm like, 2008 is when this all started. By 2008, how would you say that when you've got Terminator, Alien, all these movies with female leads that like are classics? Like, I don't understand your reasoning. It's horrible.
He apparently was watching Alien for the alien.
Oh, I mean, well,
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
That's weird.
forget the hero's not the woman in that movie for him. He was rooting for the alien.
the hero lost in that
Oh.
movie. All right. So yeah, that was the only facts.
One more.
Okay.
So Contessa Valentina, whatever her last name was, she was supposed to have made her debut in this movie because this movie was supposed to come first before
Yeah.
of all the Disney Plus shows.
Oh, then it would have been a real crazy reveal in
Yes.
the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes, because we would have seen this
Yeah.
movie. She's in the end credits, which we should talk about. And then when we watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, we'd have been like, oh, hey, she was. So I feel like it would have been better if we saw her first
Yeah.
before we saw
This
her.
movie coming out first does actually make that better in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the end credit scene was basically Lena is at Natasha's grave. Contessa shows up and says, hey, I can basically help you take out the guy that killed your sister.
Yeah, and she's saying that Hawkeye killed
And yeah,
her.
it shows her a picture of Hawkeye. Which I'm like, I feel like if we can get some good fight scenes between her and Hawkeye,
Please do.
down for that.
Hawkeye gonna get mollywopped. Unless he's the end game Hawkeye, then he might have a chance. But
Nah, because,
Ronan.
dude, he can't beat Natasha.
Yeah, he hasn't beaten
He
Natasha.
could.
They
He was
fought
just- he
twice,
was just
and then
holding
he
back.
lost both times.
Yeah.
I think he was just
Although
holding back.
Yelena's not
He,
as good as
he
Natasha.
wasn't holding back. He was mind control.
Oh,
he
well, I
wasn't,
mean,
no.
mind control's weak.
Yeah.
No, he can't, he cannot fight her. He can't win that fight.
Well, he said he was holding back, and I was like, no, he wasn't.
Yeah,
Because
he
he was
wasn't.
mind controlled by
Oh.
Loki.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. He just not as good because that's why he was losing
Yeah.
it to her in
Although, but-
Civil War.
I was saying Yelena's not as good as
Didn't
Natasha.
Scarlet Witch like
She's good.
hold Natasha around in Civil War, and then she told him you're
yeah,
pulling your
that
punches
still
because he was
hurts.
pulling his punches.
That still hurts when she threw her into the truck. I'm like, geez, Wanda, man.
Because he was pulling his punches.
Yes. Okay, I still
Holding
he can't
back.
beat her in a fight though.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I guess we did finally find out what happened in Budapest. So that was something.
Kind of. You didn't show us
Yeah.
Hawkeye and her in Budapest. You told us. Show, don't tell. Show, don't tell.
Yeah, I was expecting to see it, not hear more about it. I've been hearing about it for years. I
Yeah.
want to hear more about it.
Well, now we've
Budapest.
heard even more about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get the Natasha pronouncing it Budapest joke. Did she say it wrong in Avengers?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I gotta watch
I think she
Avengers
said
again.
So
Budapest.
yeah, so I'm like,
Yeah, I
I
have to
don't get
watch
why
it
that was the
again.
thing. It was like she refused to pronounce it Budapest.
Oh, I don't. I gotta watch Avengers again. Which I mean, I'm not mad at. I'm always down to watch Avengers.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Avengers was a great movie.
Yeah.
It was an executive decision.
Just like the decision for her not to get scratches.
Yep. All came from the execs.
You could have given her a black eye,
Something.
something.
Goodness.
All right,
Nah, man. Nah, can't do that. Not for the kids.
All right, nitpicks.
nitpicks.
Derek, do you want to go first?
I pretty much said
I
all
can
my
go
nitpicks,
first.
so.
All right, what you got?
They never explain who created the red dust.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Who did make the red dust?
Yeah,
Where
why
did that
is
even
there-
come? It's a Deus Ex Machina, right there.
What you know? What got me was that in the beginning, because Yelena was mind controlled, and the girl had the dust in the
Yeah.
briefcase. I was like, where did she come from? Did she get away from the red room? And how? She was mind controlled. And like Derek said, where did that come from? Who created it? And why?
They never explain it.
Okay, that's a good one. I
Yeah,
even
that's a
missed
good one.
that.
I
Okay.
actually, I do have a nitpick, but
I was gonna say that.
Okay, Dan.
All right, what else you got, Derek?
I hated the fact of them not telling us about her mother's name.
Eh,
Yeah,
that's not
That
important.
I had a
I don't
nitpick
think
about.
I'm fine with that. Her
And
dad's name
then
is Ivan.
we could
That's all we got.
Would have been
Right.
nice.
right, we don't even have the last name of the father.
Do we need
Um,
that?
I guess not, but it bothered me.
Okay.
It would have been nice.
At the end of the movie, when everybody left and she stayed there, and General Ross was coming,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
that
did
was the
she
nitpick I was
escape?
thinking of.
Yeah.
how did she escape to meet up with Captain America to free everybody from the raft?
Exactly. She gave herself up to General Ross. Yes, she somehow managed to get away 2 weeks later, get a Quinjet, meet up with Captain America to save Vision and them in Scotland. How?
Well, she was spending no, like, she had in Infinity War, she had spent significant time with Captain America.
Yeah. I'm
So
saying
it's-
what happened between her getting the Quinjet and getting captured by Ross? Ross is not just letting her go.
I want to know. Yeah, that was my nitpick. I want to know. Yeah, that
How did she
like
escape?
Ross is coming,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
cut to her with blonde hair.
Yeah.
What did she do?
Yeah.
What did she do? Why
She
was
got
she
her hair
staying
blown.
anyway?
Yeah.
I was confused. What was she staying there for?
Exactly. Like she's like, I can handle Ross, but you don't need to. Like, I felt like it was sort of supposed to be a reveal where she realized the Avengers is her family.
Yeah,
And I felt like it was kind of like, well, now she's going to go find Steve.
yeah.
Which, okay, fine, but you could have left with them and then left them to go find Captain America. I don't understand why you stayed behind to deal with Ross and then not even to show us how she ended up handling that.
Yeah.
It makes no
It
sense.
that was a bad decision. I don't like that was weird. Ross didn't even need to be in this movie. He was in the trailers and stuff, and it was
He
like
served no purpose.
zero purpose.
Yeah.
He was even in the credits. We didn't even need William Hurt in the credits on this. He didn't do anything.
No, shout out for him for getting a paycheck though. But yeah, no, he
Yeah,
didn't
man,
need
he's
it.
been around since the Incredible Hulk, yo. He's been around.
But we didn't need it.
You didn't need him in the movie. It like,
Yeah.
But it's what America wanted.
I mean, I guess except for the beginning. I mean, like it makes sense that he was after her, but you could have just had like she was being chased down because
Yeah. But
like,
even
we
in the
understand.
beginning, like again, where's my born supremacy escape?
Yeah.
Like she, and like her escape was she just walked out the back door. Like nothing fancy. I'm like,
No, she was on a ferry.
she was on a phone with him. And look, honestly, they could have just shot for shot the born supremacy and I'd have been happy. And it's like she's on the phone and then like her escape was leaving the phone behind and walking out the back door.
Yeah. I think what's disappointing about this is the character of Black Widow is like you expect to see. Look, her fights in the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Like you expect to see it, or her fights in Civil War. Like you expect to see that
Or
from her.
Yeah, like I wanted to see her beat up Ross's men.
Yeah, she's supposed to be the best fighter, right? Besides Captain America, she's supposed to be the best fighter.
Yeah, I want to see her beat up his men, outsmart him, and look, I keep saying this, but give me Jason Bourne when he's on the roof talking on the phone to that lady on the phone, and he's like, look to the left, and that is what I needed.
Where
Where
start
Ross,
playing the music.
yes, where Ross gets so played, where she's like, yeah, I'm actually in the car next to you. It like I needed something like that.
I need one of the train scenes where like they're chasing after her and then she runs behind the train and then like the train goes by and then she's gone. That always happens to Jason Bourne.
Yes, I'm like that is what I needed.
Yeah.
Just goodness.
All right. Any other nitpicks, guys?
I'm not done.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm not done. I'm not done either.
All right, continue, Derek.
Red Guardian, Melina, and the Black Widows. This happened after Civil War, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We could have used these people in Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, where were they? I mean,
this is the only thing I hate when you make movies prequels. This is the only thing, because I was just like, they would have been.
Well, no. I give them a pass. Infinity War, I think they made it clear in Infinity War they had no time. There was zero time for them to do anything. Like, as soon as they were like, hey, yo, there's this problem, bam, they came right then and there.
Okay.
So I'll let that pass.
They had time to get Captain America.
It's Captain America.
Captain
she was
America
already with
there.
Captain America.
Yeah.
He
showed up on his own. They didn't search out for Captain America. He showed up on his own.
Yeah. Yeah, because after she leaves them, she meets up with Captain America and Sam, and they're hanging out together until Infinity War happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine. I'll give you Infinity War, but I want to say in the game when she's like, maybe they all got dusted. While she was like crying by herself.
Well,
in the
everybody got
brought hey, who's to say
everybody
they weren't?
got brought
You
back
didn't see everybody that came through the portals. Who to say they weren't on the battlefield? Howard the Duck was there. So.
All right. Okay, fine. They were there.
Right? We can say they were there. You don't know. There were hundreds of people.
Okay.
Right.
They were just off screen.
All right.
That's what people were saying about like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. They were there. They were just off screen.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. My last nitpick. How does Contessa know what happened on Velmir?
She doesn't because Hawkeye didn't kill Black Widow.
Yeah, but she knows enough to blame Hawkeye for her death. She
Yeah.
just pulled that out the thin air.
No, Avengers probably.
I feel like it's not a secret.
Yeah, because you gotta remember, like even in like WandaVision, they were talking about what happened during the battle.
Here's what I'm thinking: the government wants a debrief because it's the government.
Yeah.
Those files, we talk about Contessa, so she can access whatever's in government files.
Yeah.
So if that's in somewhere where the Avengers said, "Hey, we sent it to Volmir," and Hawkeye's the only one that comes back, she knows that because that's written down somewhere. She knows that.
Yeah.
And as long as she knows how to hack a computer, she has
And she probably knows that he really didn't kill her.
Yeah, she just starting trouble because she can.
Yeah.
That seems to be her MO.
Yeah. Because Black Widow was a suicide, so no one killed her.
I don't see how suicides meets the requirement of the Soul Stone, but okay.
People always get the wording of what Red Skull said wrong. He says you have to lose that what you love. They didn't say you have to give up. They didn't say, people always say what you love most. He doesn't say that. He says you have to lose that which you love. So it has to be something you love and you lose it. Yes. That's what he said. That's his exact wording. You have to lose that which you love. Not love most, not give up, just lose it.
I thought it was sacrifice.
And it doesn't matter how you lose it, huh? Because
apparently not.
Thanos straight up threw Gamora.
He wasn't going to lose her any other way. Well, actually, I thought about that. Do they have to go down in the little thing? Because Gamora tried to kill herself, and I was like, hey, wouldn't I have given him the Soul Stone?
That's what because I'm saying I'm not sure suicides
works. Gave him the Soul Stone. Yeah. Yeah, he still would have got the stone if she killed herself.
I think I know. I feel like it's Thanos had to take that action. So I feel like Hawkeye would have had to throw her off.
No, no, because that's not the sentence is
No,
lose that which you love.
because if Hawkeye died, she would have got the stone.
I feel like one of them had to kill the other. That is how I always took it, and that a suicide doesn't count.
But that's what it was. It wasn't
It was.
suicide.
It
Right.
does. I mean, it's in
Yeah,
the movie, so suicide
because
counts.
he didn't say you had to kill the person that you love.
Yeah. So
He
lose.
just
Okay,
said you had to love.
this is not an in game topic, so we'll leave it. I'm gonna go back to that scene later on. Okay, my nitpicks. I talked about this yesterday when we was watching the movie. Red Guardian on the wing of that plane. Just, I'm sorry. I know we said the laws of physics mean nothing in this movie, but you cannot have a rifle and he's holding onto the wing of a plane while shooting a rifle.
Yeah, no, he wasn't holding on to the plane. He was just on it.
He's on the wing of a plane.
And like we mentioned it, and I said I would have accepted this scene if he was holding on with his hands, since he's a super soldier. You know, I'm like, okay, he's strong enough to withstand the force of the wind trying to blow him off. Sure, but he's just laying on it. I'm like, that's nothing to do with your strength. You're not holding on.
Nothing is keeping him on. And then the plane took off.
And he's still on the wing.
And he's still on the wing. And I'm like, so how did he get in the plane? Just
he climbed in. Look, if old boy can do it.
who, James Bond?
No, what's his face? Tom
Cruise.
Tom Cruise, yeah. If he could do it, and he did it for real.
Okay, I had serious issues with that scene.
Yeah.
All right, my next one. So when Black Widow was talking to Dreykov, she originally goes in there being Melinda with the little face thing that she has that shows up in a few movies here and there. I feel like they didn't need to do that because first of all, it didn't fool him one bit.
No.
That and I'm sorry, but old girl is like 3 inches taller than Black Widow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
obvious that's not gonna work. It wasn't necessary.
She hunched over.
Well, no, I guess she did it so that the guards would bring her, or so that she can just walk in there. Otherwise, like, he wasn't bringing Black Widow up to him. He noticed when she got there.
But why couldn't she just do it? Why couldn't Black Widow be in the cell? She tells her how to break out. She goes face
that's
Dreykov.
true. She could have just did it.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to kill Dreykov herself.
Yeah, she didn't though.
But she didn't.
She didn't.
Yeah. So it wasn't needed.
All she did was punch him.
Wasn't needed.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, that's a good nitpick.
She also wanted to know about her mother.
That she didn't get an answer to.
Yeah.
She didn't know that until she asked though.
Whatever.
Man, whatever.
Not needed.
No.
Okay. My last one. So she tries to kill Dreykov but can't because apparently his pheromones, he programmed these girls where they can't kill him because of his pheromones, right? His pheromones prevents them, right? If they can smell him, they can't harm him. I mean, they could just walk 20 feet away and shoot him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. How far do pheromones work?
I mean, they're not dogs, right? So,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
how
yeah,
far
you
can a
have to be
human
near
smell?
enough to smell.
So they can snipe him.
They
But
can
they can
snipe
snipe.
him. That's
Yeah,
what
they can snipe him.
I wrote down. Why can't they snipe him from a mile away?
They could. Right? Well, that's
could.
how in the first place she
I
tried to
wouldn't.
kill him, she blew him up, right?
So I don't.
Yeah. I think that is a thing in the comics, though.
I don't care. It would have been dumb in the comics too.
Yeah. The whole sever the nerve thing was in the comics too, I believe. So.
Dumb, and more dumb.
Yeah. And I saw that a mile away too when she was getting him to hit her. I'm like,
Yeah.
she's trying to break her nose.
Yeah, obviously. Which again,
obvious.
which is like, I mean, is this guy supposed to be a evil supervillain? Because he was kind of stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I did think of
all
another nitpick.
villains- all villains, all you got to do is attack their ego.
Usually.
That doesn't make you a good villain then.
Yeah.
Except
No,
for
you
Thanos.
you couldn't attack Thanos' ego. Yeah,
Yeah.
He just
he
didn't
didn't
give a
care.
crap.
He was going through with his mission.
You couldn't accept failure. And what did that bring
Back to me.
you?
Back to me.
Now I forget what my nitpick was.
What?
Must not have been a good nitpick.
Yeah.
It was a good nitpick. You were talking about
It had
him and the pheromone. Forgot.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Usually it's best quotes. I don't think we had a good quote in here. Anything about Red Guardian?
Yeah, I was like a bunch of
Oh,
stuff
yeah, I
by
was about to say,
Red
Red
Guardian.
Guardian
There was
had
Red Guardian's
Guardian had a lot.
lines, all his lines. Best quote. Best
It's
quote.
like no one cares about you being Crimson Dynamo,
It's
which is an Iron Man villain. And he was like, "It's Red Guardian."
Red Guardian. Yeah,
Yeah,
he could not read the room.
No.
at all.
Like this is the perfect time to correct her.
Yeah.
That was funny. They said the one when he got out of prison. I've been in prison for years. I have a lot of energy.
Lots of energy.
Yeah,
Hands were
his character was
frostbitten,
hilarious.
almost frostbitten.
I do
The
want to see
father
him come back
relieved himself
in
on my
some way,
head.
shape, or form.
He used the toilet on my hands.
Oh my God.
And then she was like, "What is the purpose of this story?"
Oh, remember he told him he's trying to cheer up Nat and Yelena, and he's like, "You guys have killed so many people. I'm so proud of you."
So proud of
It's
this.
funny because he grabbed their hands and he was like waving their hands like hooray.
I was like, dude, they're obviously not happy about having killed so many people.
That was a proud moment for him.
Any father would be proud.
Depends on how you did it. If you did it, I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's pretty cool. But yeah, it depends on how.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
Then-
ready to-
we ready to give it a rating?
Yeah. Oh, and then also we're gonna talk about where we put this in all the MCU movies.
No, we gotta redo I thought about it, and we're just gonna redo the list.
Oh, we need to redo this list. This list is bad.
If you guys go back and listen to that episode, that list we came up with is trash. That is a trash list of woof.
I'm glad. Now, a year ago when we
They
first
said
did this,
fans
they did
are
not listen to
rating
me.
this- They said fans are rating this below Iron Man 2.
Nah, it's better than Iron Man 2.
Definitely better than Iron Man.
It's better than Iron Man
It's
2.
definitely better
because
than Iron Man 2.
Whiplash and Iron Man 2 is horrible.
Yeah, it's better than Iron Man 2.
It's better. Than
It's
Iron
better
Man
than Iron Man.
2. I'll give it that. All right. So what are we rating?
Watch While Folding Clothes. It's not a bad movie. It's just not the movie you want.
Okay. Dan.
I would agree with that. Watch while folding clothes.
Okay.
But more so watch.
Ooh, damn.
Ooh.
Derek.
I'm gonna go with I pay for that.
All right.
Okay,
Plot
so
twist.
I can either tie it or do something else. I am going to go with a middling watch while folding clothes. Not a high watch while folding clothes, right in the middle of that watch while folding clothes. It's not that great of a movie. It's enjoyable, but like I said, it has no purpose in the MCU. Like, it doesn't do anything for the wider range. And while I do like standalone movies, while they're standalone, usually the movies still have an impact on the rest of the universe.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Except for
even-
Ant-Man 2.
Yeah, I don't even care that it doesn't have an impact on the rest of the universe. Here's what I was saying is like, I will never watch this movie again.
Yeah. Even in an MCU rewatch, I don't have to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I will tell you right here
See, I
now.
will watch it again for the laughs for me. Like I will watch it again for the
Nah.
laughs.
I can tell you right now, I will never watch this movie again.
I'm
Wow.
going to watch it again because my wife wants to see
Heavy.
it.
Well, yeah.
I'll watch it again.
I'll watch it again. I watch movies more than once. It's fine, but it's it's not like, yeah. Watch my folding clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be our rating. I wanted it to be rated higher. This was supposed to be the greatest movie ever.
Yeah.
Definitely was supposed to be. I was looking forward to that, but did not deliver. That's okay. All right. Still entertained.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It was still entertaining. However, I will say, if you were going to pay $30 from Disney Plus for it, wait until it's free on Disney Plus. It will be in like 6 months. Don't worry about it. You're fine. Like, there's no rush to go see
Or
this.
spend $10 at the movies.
But what movie
Still
you going
would've
to
been
that only
cheaper.
costs $10?
Yeah, no, the movie's $10. What are you talking about?
Oh, movie
Matinee. That
Is it
matinee. going on.
$11.75 now?
It's like $13.
Oh God. I'm never going to the movies again. Never ever again.
Yeah, no, I'm legit that we split this movie 6 ways.
Yeah.
like if you're gonna pay that $30, find 5 friends.
Sure, yeah.
Then you can get your money's worth.
I feel it. All right. Well, that was our thoughts on Black Widow. If you want to give us your thoughts on Black Widow, I know a lot of people have opinions. Make sure you let us know in the comments wherever you're watching or listening. Also, leave us a rating if you're listening to the podcast. You know, give us a rating and a review. We'd like to see what you think. You can also reach us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/3drivals and Gmail, 3drivals@gmail.com. With that being said, thank you for listening and watching, guys. We appreciate it. Peace out.